Hello everyone, Manithral here, and welcome to another Suggestion Saturday. Okay, so today's is going to be a little bit of something I wanted to talk about, but then also something that occurred at RuneFest, and I actually want to give feedback on that, being somebody who, plays on an Ironman on a regular basis. Okay, number one, we'll get into the idea for the week, and that is actually updating sigils. I don't really hear of many people actually using the sigils, maybe here and there, but I don't really hear of anybody going out of their way to get these items for that equipment slot. I realize they're relatively new, but I think probably the biggest problem with sigils is the fact that people kind of like relaxing during Slayer. So a lot of them are combat oriented. Now, if it's something that would be helpful in a boss fight type scenario, that might be a little bit different of a story. But the downfall to sigils is it actually requires more attention, and it takes away from stuff like boss fights. It takes a little bit away from the AFK type style of Slayer. And occasionally for certain Slayer monsters, the actual, what you're doing with them. Now, I mean, if you have multiple action bars, it might not be too much of a big deal. You can just set up a keybind and then you have it in that slot, and then you can occasionally activate it, however so often it allows it to be activated. But a lot of people seem to just enjoy, being able to sit back and kind of relax while they're playing. And there's already, for those more involved fights, there's already things that people already have to do to keep things going and focused. So my suggestion for sigils, and I'm not sure if other people are going to agree with me, feel free to disagree, maybe tell me why, why you would think differently and what you do or don't agree with these ideas. That's what this whole thing's about, what you guys want to see out of the game, what I would like to see out of the game, and then, we kind of let Jackets know, hey, this is what, your players would like to see out of your game. But me personally, I would like to see sigils, and they would have a lot more appeal to me if they had a low chance of just activating on their own. So it'd be kind of like a special attack that fires off kind of randomly or consistently, depending on the sigil and depending on its effect. Like if there's a sigil, I don't know, that maybe always adds 0.1% extra accuracy. And I know it's not a lot, but I think 0.01 of... Well, let's find out here. Let's get on my trusty calculator, cell phone. And let's do... what is the accuracy of this? The augmented hand cannon, that's what we're going to be going for. Plus 0.1%, it would equal... Sorry guys. Yeah, it only adds like an additional 1, so that might not be the best route. But maybe something like 0.5%. That's actually substantial a bit. So maybe, definitely depending on what you have and what you're using. But I think that would be potentially the best route. I mean, we have a lot of special effects for different things, and we have a lot of stuff we have to focus on, especially during a big battle. During a big battle, people are really focusing on their prayers. So, yes, sigils could be something that would be used for, AFK kind of methods, such as, what I'm doing right now with Apparent Specters. It's not very involved, and, maybe some people would like to have a little bit more involvement. But I think that would be the biggest chunk of this. But now to go into the RuneScape reveals. There was something that popped up, and I have a strong, very strong opinion against it. And it's one of those things where if, me and other people in the community, if we catch it soon enough and we deliver our message soon enough about it, our thoughts on it, they might change their minds on it. I'm starting to think that guy's a bot. But what I would like to see is what I would like to not see is they're talking about changing Ironman, basically the whole entire policy of no trading. And while I understand they would still be trading with other Ironmen, so it'd still be, a gated kind of community. It's not the point of Ironman. The whole point of Ironman is to be completely self-sufficient. So if I can trade with a fellow Ironman player, that means I can give them stuff maybe they can't get, or vice versa. And I don't think that should be the case. It should stay the same of, you cannot trade. There should be no money-making methods for, Ironman. Well, not in a trading sense. In other senses, like, fighting and skilling and alking, keep it for what it is, and that is a self-sufficient mode. That is what it's supposed to be. That's what it should stay as. It shouldn't be morphed into something that is not Ironman. Because to me, the whole aspect of Ironman and be able to brag about it is because you did this all on your own. There is nobody else that helped you. Nobody got the gear and you bought it off of them. It's one of those kind of things. And I think that's how it should stay. There is more pride among it. And if you put in the trading, then you could say, well, hey, I did this all on my own. Somebody could just come up to you and be like, no, you didn't. You bought this from so-and-so. Or you bought your items. It's like, no, you didn't. You put in the effort, you put in the work for it. You should be able to, I should have just out that. You should have, be able to be proud of your account. And I'm sorry, but I really think adding trading into just trading within just Ironman kind of messes that up. Because essentially, it's just making it a separate community within the game. It's not self-sufficient anymore. It's just, hey, you got regular players and then you have Ironman players. But regular players can only trade with regular players, and then Ironman players can only trade with Ironman players. It's the same thing then. It's no longer self-sufficient. So I don't mind the fact that they want to do group stuff with Ironman. I think that's a good idea. Enable them to fully access a lot of the content, but don't allow trading. Because like I said, the whole point of Ironman is to be able to be self-sufficient. And if you can trade, what's the point of Ironman accounts? Other than if you want to go hardcore, like I am, and have the possibility of permadeath. That'd be the only notable thing anymore. And if you ask me, that's not what we want. That's not what any player would really want. I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there who would want to trade. And if you want to give something to the Ironman players, allow them to fully participate in all events. That would make more sense than the other stuff of, hey, you can actually take part in bonus XP weekends now. Or you can fully take part in, let's say the upcoming one is November. Let us fully participate in that. Let us fully get the XP and the rewards, the cosmetics. Let us fully get all that. let us participate in those kind of things they're not microtransaction, but they might include some microtransaction items. But as we have noticed lately, a lot of microtransaction items are now being reintroduced into the game and earned in a normal fashion, rather than just, your microtransaction and that be the only way. So there's no longer that barrier. Most items are now actually within the game. I can't think of many, if any at all, other than the lucky variants, which is just cosmetic difference, that you can't get outside of microtransactions. Well, maybe a few of the cosmetic, like the pets and stuff and other cosmetics, but eventually, who knows, maybe that'll change in time and then we'll be able to get those as well. I really wish you could disassemble those. Or just drop the spirit gems. That's another thing. Let us do that. Let us drop those and disassemble those, please. You can give us spirit parts for it. I mean, deals with summoning. Most of the things give summoning, or spirit parts for summoning. Or ethereal. But that'll do it for today's episode, so thank you guys so much for watching. As always, let me know what you guys think. And until next time, later guys.